Alright. Alright, welcome my dear viewers to welcome back.
Flavorful and easy recipe to spice up your life. Garlic chili, noodles.
Okay.
Lei hong ma, that's how's it going in Cantonese. I'm Will Young from YoungManCooking.com. Welcome to the channel where you can cook with confidence. This recipe is incredibly delicious, so addictive, and of course it's really easy to put together. Definitely one of those comforting dishes you'll want to make every single week. Let's begin. Pat dry about 100 grams of extra firm tofu and place it in a bowl. Use a fork to mash the tofu into a crumble.
That means draining the shit out of it, but he skipped that part.
Definitely don't be shy on that garlic. 4 to 5 pieces of garlic, finely chopped.
Good knife skills. You know, you can always just use the jarred shit.
Small piece of ginger, finely chopped.
I've checked out Adam Ragusia's shit, yes.
Three sticks green onion, finely chopped. Right, so before we start cooking, there are a few ingredients that are somewhat specialty, but you should be able to find at a Asian grocery store. So first up are these Taiwanese knife-paired noodles. These are kind of these dainty, flat, thick wheat noodles that are cut specifically to have this kind of almost ribbon looking like texture. These noodles are quite unique, should be pretty easy to find at an Asian supermarket, but these are perfect for this type of recipe. We have this Korean pepper powder, also called gochugaru. This is actually the chili pepper that's been ground into this coarse kind of flaky like texture, and mostly without the seeds, so this actually is not super spicy, but it gives that incredible smoky flavor and unmistakable golden red color. Lastly, we have this plant-based oyster sauce and this amazing, really thick dark soy sauce. This oyster sauce actually is a Canadian product and is made with shiitake mushrooms, and that is actually what gives it that incredible umami. This dark soy sauce is really popular. Now, dark soy sauce is actually used more for color than it is for flavor, and you can tell that a dark soy sauce is really nice and super thick. When you swirl it around the bottle, it really covers that glass, almost like a thick glaze. This episode is not sponsored by any of those products. It really is just to give you an idea on what you could try next time you make a visit to your grocery store. That's why we keep on plugging our own products like the cookbooks, the sushi masterclass, and of course the Young Man Cooking merch. To find out more information about the books, the sushi masterclass, or the Young Man Cooking merch, I'll leave.
I absolutely fucking hate any of the guys, it's time to get back in the kitchen, or time to go in the kitchen, or anything to get men in the kitchen. I absolutely fucking hate. If anything, we should be the fuck out of the kitchen. It's time to get the cunts back in the kitchen.
A link in the description box below where you can check those out. Now, let's get cooking. Non-stick pan, medium heat. 1 tablespoon avocado oil.
What does it matter? What does it matter how many beers am I in? I'm in my home. I'm not driving anywhere. The only place I'm going to retire to is my bed. Problem with problem? Problem? I'm gonna retire to my bed? I mean, I'm in my home already. I have nowhere else to drive. What does it fucking matter? How many beers am I into it? You know what? This is where
Crumbled tofu. Saute for 3 to 4 minutes. Two teaspoons dark soy sauce. Saute for another couple of minutes.
although if you were part of the last live stream, isn't it so funny how quickly I bring these little soy boys in line? That shit's fucking burnt! That shit is fucking burnt!
Set aside the tofu. Bring a pot of water to boil for the noodles. Pan back on medium-low heat. 2 tablespoons avocado oil. Garlic and ginger. Cook for about 2 minutes.
You already burnt part of the garlic at least.
Cook the noodles for a minute less to package instructions, in this case 3 minutes. Give the noodles a stir to keep them from sticking. 1 tablespoon gochugaru. Cook for about a minute. One
I didn't
tablespoon
rage
oyster
quit.
sauce. Strain out the noodles and add to the pan. One teaspoon dark soy sauce. Crumbled tofu. Turn the heat up to medium and saute for 2 to 3 minutes.
That's like gochujang
Green
or
onions.
whatever you call it.
Saute for another
With-
minute and it's done.
Bacon bits.
Plate and serve.
You won't like that.
You can now enjoy this delicious recipe with absolute confidence. If this is not the savory noodle lover's dream, I don't know what is. Look at that. Man, that is phenomenal. I love how it has this fiery color and just gives this amazing rustic visual impact. You have the beautiful orangey red oil.
Look, I can appreciate the sentiment. But I gotta be honest with you, bro, it looks like shit.
That's flavored with that amazing chili flakes, and you have the pop of green from those fresh green onions and the beautifully caramelized crumbled tofu. I mean, the noodles are really literally coated with that delicious oil and sauce. The oyster sauce adds a delicious, deep, dark umami. The dark soy sauce helps with that flavor as well, but it adds this incredibly beautiful caramelized look.
You know, you guys should really think about this before the next time you come at me. Most of you hear from Jake. I get that, that's fine. You know, crossover is inevitable. But ask yourself one question. Why is it that, at least for the last year, Jake has never touched one of my political videos? Why does Jake always touch my culinary videos? It's because he can't beat me. He can't beat me in either realm, believe it or not. Sorry, you guys are following a false idol. When has Jake called me out on my political videos in the last year? He hasn't, and yet you say you don't idolize Jake.
And of course you have that explosion of flavor from the garlic. The ginger adds a little sweetness, a little bit of heat. The crumbled tofu just really substantiates this dish, and the green onions adds that really nice freshness. These wide noodles really pick up all of that delicious sauce, and it has that really satisfying kind of chewy texture, and it has that hint of spiciness from the chili flakes, but definitely not overpowering. You have the incredible earthy, smoky flavor from it. Like I said, this is totally an addictive dish that is the savory noodle lover's dream. This is definitely one of those easy dishes that will make it to the weekly menu. If you want to find out more information about those cookbooks, the Young Men Cooking merch, or the Sushi Masterclass, definitely check out that link in the description box below. As always, remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you won't miss a single episode.
Alright, going with Jack next.
You're watching the Cooking with Jack show.
Okay, so let's try it again. The last two videos have been horrendous. But you know what? They were delicious. And that makes it a win. This video could be horrendous too, because this is a pizza we're reviewing today, and the pizza cooks in 1 minute. If I overcook it, it's gonna be horrendous. Trust me, this could be a very exciting video. So anyway, this company, what is it called? It's either Vivor or Vevor.
Jack. I don't know what the fuck to tell you, but the last thing your gimpy ass should be having is pizza.
I think it's Vivor. So I'll put the logo up on the screen. That's the name of the company. This is only a $200 pizza oven. You can't find that. I can. I mean, building one in the backyard would cost a couple thousand.
No, you can't find a $200 pizza oven. That would be impossible.
This goes up to 700 degrees, hooks right up to your propane tank. So I'm kind of excited to do this video. And I read online that a 12-inch pizza cooks in 60 seconds. So this will probably take maybe 2 minutes. But let's give it a try. They've given me all the parts in here. At least they claim to. So we're going to open this up, lay out all the parts, and show you what it looks like. Okay, guys, so first...
Okay, how in the hell are you going to be able to run a pizza oven? Your fucking right hand is dead weight. How?
This is the oven. Came just like this. You just fold the legs out and go. Okay? Let's show you the other things. Came with the cover. Got that.
Just fucking end it. Just fucking end it. You know, if Jack were to focus on getting better after the stroke and cooking light meals, everybody'd be behind him. That's the thing, he really has a chance to rejuvenate his channel. And he doesn't, because, I don't know, reasons. I don't know. Alright, let's deal with this jackass. How I make a cheeseburger for lunch. Okay.
You're probably hungry. I'm craving a burger. I'm gonna make a burger. I'm gonna eat a burger. So I'm gonna show you how I make my lunchtime cheeseburger. Now, you may be surprised to know that I don't actually put my burger on a bun, but I am using these little zero carb wraps. I'm telling you, you're going to be pleasantly surprised because I don't like to get tired, and bread makes me tired, especially with a half-pound burger on it, right? What I like to use in my lunchtime burger is simple. Certified Angus 80/20 ground beef, Duke's mayo, Dijon mustard, and thick bacon. A cheeseburger isn't a cheeseburger without American cheese. First thing I want to do is preheat my pan on medium heat so that I can toast my wraps. I like them crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. That's just how I like to do them. You're welcome to do a bun if you'd rather have a bun. I'm all good with that. You do you. So we're going to crisp up our wraps, and then we're going to cook our bacon in the same pan. Then we're going to wipe out the bacon grease from the pan, and then we're going to cook our burger, and then we're all ready to go. Let's go ahead and make our burger. Now, an important thing to have in your kitchen is a kitchen scale. I know it sounds crazy. You can just eyeball it if you want to, but when I'm dealing with a lot of meat, I like to just make sure that I have the right amount because I portion things out. That's just the way I like to do things. So we're gonna go with an 8-ounce burger, which is half a pound. There we go. 8.01 is good with me. Now, if you don't have a burger press, don't worry. You can definitely make your burger by hand. It's not hard to do. What I like to do is form a nice tight burger ball, high and tight, right? Smash it in your hands. I'm looking at my camera monitor so that I can make sure everything stays in focus for y'all. Smash it in your hands again, and when you get little breaks in it, just form it back together. No big deal. So smash it again, and what I'm looking for is about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of a patty. And when you're dealing with a 1/2 pound burger, a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch is great. You're gonna get a great sear on both sides, and you're gonna get an even cook throughout. And that is what we're looking at right there. That is a patty formed by hand. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Now say you're using a burger press. This is the one that I like to use. It's cheap, it's easy to use.
All right. I am completely in disagreement with him. If I'm going to have a 1/2 pound burger, I'm going to make 2 1/4 pound patties, pound them out thin, use my plates as a mold, and do it that way. The reason I don't like 1/2 pound patties, nothing against you, but the reason I don't like 1/2 pound patties is the goddamn cocksucking things usually blow up like a fucking goddamn hockey puck.
You can rip out burgers real easily. Plop it in there. I'll link to it in the description if you guys want to pick one up for yourselves. And just smashy. And I'll tell you why I like this burger press so much. And then just take it right out. And there we go, a perfectly formed burger. It's got this ever important divot in the middle and the lines in it. And what that does, it keeps the burger from puffing up in the middle. And now you can obviously do that with your hands too. If you want to make a hand press burger. Just take your little meaty thumb and push in the center of it to create that divot yourself. Easily done yourself. Now we got to get cooking. We're gonna start with avocado oil. You know your oil's ready when it starts to shimmer and it just slides throughout the pan like water. Carefully put your tortillas in the oil and just let them fry up. Now I only do it on one side. Why? Because I like the texture difference from the crunchy outside to the soft inside. This is a Hexclad pan. These are metal utensil safe. I've had them for years and we're already crisping up. They like to puff in the middle, so you want to lift them and press them down. Take the plate that you're going to eat your burger off of so you're not creating a ton of dirty dishes, and put your wraps right on there just so that the oil dries up. And we're also going to take our bacon and lay it on this side of the paper towel so that soaks up all the bacon grease. That's the level of crispiness that we're looking for. Now, before you throw your bacon in here, go ahead and dump out this oil. We don't need it anymore. You can wipe it out with a paper towel if you like, or you can just set it aside and then just toss later. I just combine the bacon grease in whatever unused oil. So be careful when you lay your bacon in. You're welcome to add as much bacon as you want. I'm just doing one piece because, like I said, I have the rest of the workday to go through and Daddy don't want to fall asleep at his desk. Okay, now I flip multiple times and I continuously move my bacon around in the pan just so that we get an even cook and we don't get a burnt center and a raw outside. That's kind of a pain. Now you could always bake it too, but that's another dish and another step, and it's lunchtime and I want quick. So I'm using the same pan for everything. And you can tell we're starting to get a nice golden brown right throughout. All right, we're almost there. There we go. I'm gonna give it 15 more seconds. Now, same bowl that we put the excess oil in, dump in the bacon. I have it a little too tight to the edge of the stove there. Okay, now carefully just wipe out the excess with your paper towel. Remove from the heat just for a second while we go get our burger ready. Now, while our pan is cooling, because it was a little too hot, I grab a piece of tin foil, I get my spatula, or you can use the fork that we're already using. I like to use a spatula. I go ahead and salt the first side. That looks great. We don't need to add oil to our pan because we're using 80/20 ground beef. And now I do salted side down first, and that's the side with the divot. And now I salt this side. Now you could absolutely use cast iron for this, but this pan is dishwasher safe, so I can just throw this right into my dishwasher and just walk out the dough and eat. After it sears for about 30 seconds, lay your piece of tin foil loosely over the burger because we want to develop a crust underneath, but kind of add a little bit of steam element as well. While our burger's cooking, I'm gonna add my mayo. I like to put my condiments on the bottom side of this burger, and then I put the bacon right on the condiments so the bacon sticks and won't slide out when I bite it. And my Dijon.
How much fucking mayo did you goddamn add? That's like frosting on a fucking cake.
There's a little bit of tang to go along with the savoriness of the mayonnaise. I break my bacon in two, and
Again, you just iced a cake.
then I just place the bacon. Like I said, if you want more bacon, feel free to add more bacon. And now, see what the steam has done to the burger? It's made a lot of juice and kind of steamed the rest of it. And now, we've got a lovely crust on the bottom side. And I'm gonna let this cook on this first side for about 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna add my cheese. I particularly like the deli style of American cheese. It's less of a waxy. Place the first piece, place the second piece, so that we get our angles. Then we add the tinfoil. You could use a top to the pan if you want to. That's another dish. Now, I didn't add water to my pan because that creates a splattery mess when you do inside. The tinfoil and the steam has perfectly melted my cheese, and this burger is done. I like to take my burger and let it rest for just a couple minutes before I put it on my wrap or bun if I'm using a bun, and just let it rest on that tin foil just for a couple minutes to let the juices soak back in. Okay, now that rest gave me the perfect amount of time to set up my cameras back up on the other side of the kitchen. That is beautifully done. Now, the last thing I'm gonna add are a couple pickles for some acidity. I like to go 3. And there we go. There's my lunchtime burger. Should I slice it open for you? Beautifully done, so juicy, perfect crust on each side of the burger. Let's take a bite. Oh man, it's so juicy. Oh my goodness. That layer of crust.
I mean, I still think the half pound burger is way too big part of meat. I don't know, maybe personal preference.
Crust adds the perfect amount of crunch and flavor. You gotta take a bite of this. Oh man, that is so hard to beat. You get a good burger at a restaurant, I'm not saying you can't, but making this burger for the price that it costs and have this much flavor in it and be...
All right, I'm done with this. All right, let's do Lazy Man's lasagna.
Doing? Welcome to Cooking with Jack.
Something I
Just want to thank you for all the letters and emails you've been sending me. I am going to keep doing videos, so don't worry. A lot of you were asking, are you going to keep doing these? Yes, I will. There'll be plenty to come in the next year. Tonight, we're going to do something special. My son's classroom is doing, tomorrow they're going to be doing a international day. So everybody has to cook a dish from their heritage and bring it to school tomorrow. So I figured, hey, why not? I wanted to do a video on how to make a lazy man's lasagna, and I'm gonna be making that for his class. So the two came together and we're
Except every single fucking Italian grandma would slap the shit out of you for this.
making the video right now. So let's show you how to do lazy man's lasagna, and we're gonna run through the ingredients, then we're gonna, as we always do, we're gonna show you how to throw it all together, all right? Let's take a look at the ingredients right now. Okay, here's all the ingredients. Now, when I mean lazy man's lasagna, I mean lazy. That's why you got these. Normally, I would be shot for being Italian and using these jars of sauce.
How couldn't I handle it? My first broadcast is only supposed to go for 2 hours. How was I shot for not handling it again? Security monitor lizard. Huh, bitch?
But if you need something quick and easy, grab your 2 favorite jars of sauce at the store, okay? Grab a thing of ricotta cheese. You're gonna need about a pound of mozzarella. Sometimes it comes in a square, sometimes it comes in a ball. You're gonna need
No, what the hell did he say?
and using these jars of sauce. But if you need something quick and easy, grab your 2 favorite jars of sauce at the store, okay? Grab a thing of ricotta cheese. You're gonna need about a pound of mozzarella. Sometimes it comes in a square, sometimes.
If those are 2 1-pound packages, and I have to pee, you're going to need at least 2 other jars of sauce and 1 other thing of cheese. Your big ass thing of ricotta should be fine.
It comes in a ball.
That is not fresh mozzarella. What Jack has is whole milk mozzarella, which is better than skim milk mozzarella. I'll say that. But it's not fresh mozzarella. And he has 2 pounds of penne there. Minimum, he needs 2 extra jars of sauce. Ricotta's about right, and he also needs an extra pound of cheese. Mozzarella. Maybe that's a 2-pound block. I could be wrong. But you know what? I think this is actually something I may remake properly. Because I remember my 3rd video, I think, on my cooking channel was a baked ziti, and I used jarred fucking sauce. So I may actually recreate that. Kind of a redemption arc. Because you're using jarred fucking sauce, and real sauce takes 20 fucking minutes to do!
You're gonna need 2 pounds of macaroni and one of these pans to serve it, and try and get the kind that have the plastic lid on it. Now normally we would put meat in this sauce, but since the classroom that
and my video and my baked ziti video is about the same age. Doesn't mean I can't fucking redeem it.
that we're serving this to may have vegetarians. We're gonna leave the meat out. First thing you're gonna wanna do,
because jarred sauce is trash. And Jack's Italian. He should know this. It takes 20 fucking minutes to make sauce from scratch. Okay? 20 goddamn minutes.
do is grind up the mozzarella. Okay, now normally you can get shredded, but it's more expensive. I think it's like twice the price. So I'd rather just grind it up. I'm not that lazy and lazy man's lasagna. Okay, then I'm gonna cook the macaroni and heat up the sauce.
Garlic is preserved perfectly if it is preserved in oil, which is what I use. Sorry, Jake lied to you, bitch.
And then we're gonna just throw it all together. It's gonna be beautiful. Okay, so the whole
Well, it can take longer if you like, but it takes about 20 fucking minutes.
objective is, I always use the sink to mix everything because if it spills over, it's not a mess. It goes in the sink, I rinse it off. So let's start with the sauce. We're gonna slowly, now I'm not the best at pouring this stuff, but we're gonna slowly put it in the pan here. There we go. Whoa, that shot right back at me. I'll give you guys a shot of that later, but right now, let's work while it's hot. That's the key. Okay, so there's your sauce. Then you're gonna take your
No, Jack's lazy.
mozzarella
Is
that we
ridiculous.
shredded. You're gonna put that in next.
Wait.
Okay.
Whoa,
And obviously in the heat, that's just gonna all start melting. It's gonna be beautiful. You put that in there. Then the hot macaroni is gonna go in on top of that. But first, what I want to do is this is.
What? No! Why in the hell? Why in the hell would you put the fucking mozzarella? Ricotta, fine. Put mozzarella in the goddamn sauce. Why?
This is the key, is to mix in the cheese first. Let's get that just kind of started on the melting process. Just a little bit. You're gonna see that right there? You're gonna mix all that cheese in there. See it starting to melt? Not all.
You guys are seriously trying to defend Cooking with Jack. Alright. Whatever, you guys do you.
All the way. Just get it warm. There we go. And then you're gonna dump the pasta right in on that. There we go. Look how beautiful that is. Still hot, burning hot. You throw that in. Whoop! There we go. That'll work. All right. And then once again, let me see if I can tip this so you can see. Okay. And then I'm gonna mix this all in. Once again, you can always add more cheese if needed, but let's see where we're at first.
You're already fucked. That's all I'm saying. You're already fucked.
First. It's all experimenting. It's not like baking. Baking has to be precise. Pasta doesn't. Okay, now you see. Look how beautiful that is.
This isn't a goddamn pasta bake. And even for a pasta bake, I'd be going bananas. Lasagna's a little different, jackass.
It's getting all melted together. Now we're gonna put in these. Now, once again, I'm doing a double batch. Sorry. It's the fun part of cooking. I'm just gonna scoop that right out there. Put that in there. And since I'm doing a double batch, I'm gonna do double ricotta. There we go, come on. And this is one of my favorite cheeses. I grew up putting this in my macaroni all the time.
Batch in!
I didn't even wait for ravioli night.
Like, he literally put a quadruple batch into a double batch of, I guess, baked penne? That's literally what he did.
And that gets mixed in. All right, now if you mix it properly, it's gonna look just like this. It's gonna almost be really clumped together, but it's gonna be just enough to slide right off the spoon. Now, it's time to plate this. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fill these up for the kids. This thing, oh, it's burning hot. Okay, let's try this again. All right. This isn't one of my smoother videos, but it's good. I promise you that. Here we go. Just gonna start dumping it right in there. I hope I made enough. Yeah, I think I did. Put that out, put a little bit more. Probably like that. We're gonna move that over there. Bring the other one over here. See if that works. There we go. Oh my gosh. It's coming together, I swear. It's a lot more fun when you have family around to laugh at you. Okay, so, whew. That was difficult. It's really easier than that, I'm telling you, especially if you have family helping you. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Now let me give you just a few more tips before I say goodbye. The first thing you do is I saved a little bit of cheese, okay? Save a little bit of cheese. You can take a little bit of this and just gently sprinkle the tops. I would say just more for decoration than anything. You got tons of cheese in it. But it looks nice, gives a little contrast to it. And the other thing is you can bake these later. Now I'm gonna put these in the oven in the morning before I take it to the school. But you can bake these like a baked ziti and it'll get a hard upper crust, okay? And lastly, the one thing you don't wanna do, these plastic lids that come with these trays,
How in the hell is that supposed to get a hard crust when it doesn't have enough cheese to form said crust?
don't put them on right away. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna collect all the moisture under here and then it's gonna drip back into your lasagna and it's gonna get real wet and loose, okay? Lasagna is good thick. I don't know how you like it, that's how I like it. So there it is.
And every grandma in Italy cried in unison. From the days of the Roman Empire, they all cried and wept. Because you, Jack Scalfani, don't know what the fuck you're doing. Alright, this is Chris cooking Nashville. Alright, let's go. Alright, Chris. Give me your best. I believe in you. I believe in you, Chris.
Hey guys, Chris Cookin' Nashville here. Thank you guys so much for joining me on my channel. Today, I have a highly anticipated, very exciting recipe for you guys. We're gonna go a little Italian-American tonight, and we are going to do keto and carnivore pizzas. Guys, these are absolutely amazing, and
Alright, keto carnivore pizza. Okay, cool. Get on with it.
And let's just say you can get your pizza stone back out, use your pizza peels if you've got them. We're gonna get some cheesy, amazing pizza goodness going on. You guys are absolutely gonna love this. Y'all stick around for carnivore pizza. Okay folks, here's all of our ingredients we are going to need. So I have 1 block of cream cheese. I have 7 eggs, which I have separated the whites into one bowl and yolks in the other. That's going to go into 2 different mixes. I have about 1/2 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. You can use any shredded cheese.
Why are your whites that yellow? I mean, I know it's impossible to totally separate the yolks from the white. But, dude, you couldn't have done a better fucking job? Alright, whatever. I don't care. It all means the same thing at the end of the day.
Colby Jack is also really good with this, but any shredded cheese. I have 1 tablespoon of butter straight from the fridge, which is going to go into the cream cheese mixture. I have 3 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. Use any kind of Parmesan you want. I have 2 separate containers here, each with 2 tablespoons of egg white powder, and I have 2 teaspoons total of beef gelatin, 1 teaspoon in each. 1 set of white powder and gelatin goes into the yolk mixture, and 1 set goes into the white mixture. So we're going to have 2 separate mixes, and then we're going to mix them together. So let's get working.
You couldn't just make something fucking normal. You couldn't. Alright, well, I guess it's my privilege to tell you to fuck off. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of cooking with Jack, but at least cook shit normal.
So we all know lasagna, but it requires a lot more work. You gotta layer it and do all this and that. But there's an easier version out there that I would argue could contest it.
Oh yes, this is Joshua Weissman's baked ziti.
You can use any noodle you want. Or well, it should be ziti, but you get the point. Baked ziti and I go way back. My mom used to make it for me all the time. It was sort of one of those things you flip-flop between penne and ziti, but as I've kind of grown older, I've realized you gotta use ziti because that's the name. Otherwise, it's just baked penne. That doesn't sound right. Well, I baked my penne. The point is, it's very simple. You don't have to have a bunch of crazy long noodles. You can use a very basic noodle, very basic sauce, put it in a pan with cheese, put it in the oven, and that's it. But you think we're just gonna stop there? No. We're gonna make the traditional, most known, common version there is, and then we're gonna amp it up and make it as fancy and JW, if you will. So with that said, let's make this, shall we?
We have 2 versions for you. Typical baked ziti and our fancy
quattro formaggio
version. Let's begin with Mr. Easy. In a medium pot or Dutch oven, this is a 5-quart, add just a thin layer of vegetable oil to coat the bottom, about 2 tablespoons, heat that over medium heat until it's hot. Then add in 1 pound or 450 grams of Italian sausage and 1/2 pound or 225 grams of ground beef. Let that sear for 2 to 3 minutes, then flip and sear on the other side till you get some nice browning. Then using a potato masher, mash that brother up. You know, this is a classic papa meat mashing technique. That sounded better when I wrote it. Then let that cook over medium-high heat until the fat begins to render out and you get some nice crisp bits in the meat. Remove that from the pot and place to the side, then add 3 tablespoons or 40 milliliters of olive oil to the pot, then add 1 sweet onion that's been diced, season that to taste with salt, saute your little man for about 3 minutes or just until softened, then add 4 cloves of finely chopped garlic, saute that for 20 seconds, that's 20 seconds. You go to 23 seconds and it's ruined. Good job. That's a joke. Anyway, add your meat back, stir together, then add 1.5 24-ounce cans of crushed tomatoes, stir that together and let that simmer for 5 minutes or until slightly reduced. Then season that with a small pinch of sugar. Now while the sugar is optional, it does help curb some of that tomato acidity. Yeah, you like that? Little bit of food science for you? Right, so the sauce is done. Separately, get a pot of water, season it generously with salt, and please, I'm begging you, stop with the unsalted pasta water. It's depressing. The water needs to be heavily salted. Think salty like the ocean, you know? Once that's boiling and nice, add in 1 pound or 450 grams of dried ziti pasta. Yes, I know it's store-bought, but that's the point of this first version. I'm joking, there's nothing wrong with dried pasta, okay? Relax. Cook that.
That's why I haven't actually delved into making my own pasta, because cooking pasta for me is complicated enough. I can't have store-bought sauce anymore. So whether it's a pesto, or it's a tomato sauce, or it's an Alfredo, I cook all that shit myself.
Until just under al dente, so knock off like 1 minute from its recommended cook time. Then using a spider, transfer your pasta to your sauce. It's totally fine if you get a little pasta water in there. And as a matter of fact, it's kinda good because the starch in the water helps thicken and emulsify the sauce. Stir your sauce and pasta together until thoroughly incorporated. From there, let's make our cheese mix. Basically, 14 ounces or 400 grams of fresh mozzarella, grated, of course. You always grate fresh, right? Yet again, pre-grated makes papa sad. Anyway, follow that up with 4 ounces or 113 grams of grated Parmigiano Reggiano. Then toss those together, and that's
The cheese mix.
Get a 9x13 baking dish, give it a light spray with nonstick, then add in half your pasta and its sauce, evenly spread it out, then add half of a 15 ounce or 425 gram tub of full fat ricotta. I like to do little randomized spoonfuls. Then follow that with half of your cheese mixture, top with the other remaining half of your pasta and its sauce, your other half of ricotta, spooned on, and of course, the other half of your cheese. Now that looks like a goddamn casserole if I ever seen one. From there, all you gotta do is
Hello, Papa is here. Don't be scared. Are you salting your tomatoes? That's not the point. The point is, you need to buy my book. It's available on Amazon. The link's in the description. Please, go there. Okay? It means a lot to me. I know you want this. You've been asking for it. I worked really hard on it. Goodbye.
You know what to do. Don't hesitate.
pop it in the oven, set to 375 Fahrenheit for 35 minutes or until all the cheese is melted and bubbling, and you've got some nice cheese browning. Now pull that out, let your sweet child cool for 15 minutes. Trust me, this thing is hot. Your mouth and esophagus will thank you for your patience. Now all there's left to do is hit it with some fresh basil, snag a nice big boy spoon, and scoop it as much as your heart desires. Now let's taste test Mr. Traditional first.
We're back filming after 3 weeks of not filming at all thanks to Vikram. Yay! Vikram got engaged, it's so exciting! By the time you're seeing this, it's actually not that far into the future because now we're almost behind on our uploads. We usually film quite a bit ahead. How do I eat? I forgot how. This whole 3 weeks I didn't eat anything at all. Okay. My childhood is coming back to me. There's rose petals falling. I'm crying. There's 2 babies crying. I don't know who the second one is. And wait, the baby's in a bed, but it's made of pasta. This is impossible. This is nostalgia at its finest. The caramelized cheese, it's ultra rich, but somehow balanced at the same time with the tomato. You've got the nicely cooked noodles, a little overcooked, but you know, that's the quality of a casserole. It's fine, okay? Maybe undercook it a little more, okay? It's basically like the easiest lasagna ever, and somehow different at the same time by having a freaking ziti. Some people use penne.
I never got this from my mother.
Let me explain something. Is it baked penne or baked ziti? It's baked ziti. Use ziti, please. Unless you make the pasta by hand, in which case we're gonna.
The only pasta she knew how to make was spaghetti. Outside of that, everything else was like alien to her.
I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay, next.
I mean, I love my mother very much. I really do. And if any other son of a bitch came after her about her cooking skills, I'd slaughter him like a hog. But yeah, I'm the first foodie of the family.
Next is Papa's ziti, which is actually not going to be made with ziti, so maybe it's more like Papa's yeah. Which you might guess is only just a tiny, oh so minute touch more involved. First step, pasta. So look, of course you can use store-bought, but I had to pull out the big guns and grab the good old pasta extruder. If you have one, great. If not, the link for this is in the description, or you can just observe the beauty of pasta extrusion here today. Real simple, I started with 500 grams of all-purpose flour, no salt, turned the bad boy on, tossed in about 190 milliliters of filtered water, and well, that's actually it. The machine does pretty much all the work for you here. The attachment on this guy is technically a penne setting, but I cut it into longer tube shapes to kind of mimic a cooler, fancier ziti, if you will. You know, I don't know. Thought it looked nice and organic. Wow, did you hear that? Sound like some sort of hoity-toity art director or something. Yes, the pasta was a little more organically shaped. It had character, love, sensuality to it. Anyway, let that thang. Keep pushing your pasta, cutting, pushing, and cutting onto a landing pad such as a baking sheet until all of your pasta is extruded. Dust it with a little extra all-purpose flour, give it a gentle toss to coat, and that's your pasta. Now for the sauce, get a large saute pan or a medium pot and add 4 ounces or 113 grams of finely and evenly diced guanciale. You know, starting with a nice knife cut makes a big difference in the final product. Add a little glug of extra virgin olive oil, turn the heat to medium, and let that saute, stirring occasionally until your guanciale has rendered nearly all of its fat and it's got a beautiful browning over each piece. Then add 1 brunoise shallot, 3 cloves of rough chopped garlic, fresh cracked black pepper, and salt to taste. Give that a little stir and let that guy sweat, stirring occasionally until the veg softens, about 2 minutes. Then add 2.5 teaspoons of fennel seed powder, 1.25 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, stir that together, saute till fragrant, about 20 seconds. Then add 1 6-ounce or 170 gram can of good quality tomato paste, stir and saute until the tomato paste begins to develop some color, about 1 to 2 minutes. Then add half a cup of beef broth, then scrape that out, transfer into a small bowl. Then in that same pan, we're gonna add our meat, but hold on there, partner. For the meat, you're gonna need 2 pounds or 905 grams of boneless pork shoulder, cut into thin strips, half a pound or 225 grams of
Boneless?
beef short ribs, also cut into strips, and a 1/4 pound or 113 grams of prosciutto rough chopped. Toss all that together in a bowl, and here we go, Josh being extra again. Pass through a meat grinder until all of it is ground together and you have a beautiful little meaty man, oh so meaty. Then take that mixture, knead it together, add it to your pan, sear the same as before, flatten it out for 3 minutes, flip and sear on the other side. Then using a potato masher, well, mash it up, but this time once you have your crumble, we're gonna let it render out its fat even more. Really let it fry in that fat, so you get nice little brown crispy bits that are almost like little meaty jewels scattered across the pan. From there, add your guanciale tomato paste back to the pan, followed by a 24-ounce can of crushed tomatoes.
I wasn't asleep. Wasn't asleep. I heard everything. By the way, I'm just curious. Gullet and the other jackass that doesn't like me. I really have a couple of questions. Why are you actually here? Like, why are you actually on my channel? And, what exactly, if I did fall asleep on stream, what is the big fucking deal?
Give that a stir, then add 1 tablespoon of fresh chopped rosemary.
Like, really, you have the Singing Reaper and you have Iron Gullet. I give it the first question, but, you know, really, what is the big deal if I do fall asleep on stream? Does that hurt anyone? Like, does that bother anyone? Is that gonna fuck shit up? I love Babish. It's not against TOS.
Stir that together, season to taste with salt, and simmer for 2 to 5 minutes or until lightly reduced, and that's your sauce. Trust me, this
thing be thangin'.
Then just like before, salty boiling water, add in your pasta, and now since this stuff is fresh, you're only gonna need to cook it for about 45 seconds, then immediately spatter that out of the pot and into the sauce. Fold that together, and that's your pasta with a little bit of sauce mixed together. Now, for the cheese mixture, let's first look at the ricotta. Fold in a small handful of basil that's been chiffonade cut. Now in a medium bowl, add 12 ounces or 340 grams of grated Scamorza cheese. Yeah, see, that sounds fancy, doesn't it? Look, mozzarella is a fine alternative, but this is the good stuff. Followed by 3 ounces or 85 grams of Grana Padano cheese, not to be confused with Parmigiano, okay? It's different. Then 3 ounces or 85 grams of Pecorino Romano cheese, toss all those together, and that's your cheesy mixture. All right, it's layering time. Get your greased 9x13 pan, add in half your pasta and its sauce, then half your ricotta mixture dotted all over, half of your cheese mixture, the other half of your pasta, the other half of your ricotta, and finally the other half of your cheese. Then the same thing, pop that into an oven set to 375 for 35 to 40 minutes or until browned and booblin'. And that's your big fancy man ziti. Now scoop that brother out, shed a tear for the cheese pull, hit your serving with some chiffonade basil, and let us decide if Mr. Traditional can engage in hand-to-hand combat against Papa's ziti.
Oh! I kept the plate in the oven to keep it warm. And that is the second time today that I've done that. Not keep it warm, I meant burn myself. Okay, we got our homemade pasta, extruded pasta. Technically, it was called a penne attachment. Didn't quite look like penne, and so I thought, well, maybe if I make them sort of more straight. Not the best extruder, not gonna lie. This is the fancy one. The ingredients are different. Oh God, that's hot. There wasn't supposed to be a winner, which is better or not. It was more like fancy, non-fancy, but instantaneously, easily, this is accidentally the winner. There's depth of flavor. It's not just like, oh, a little marinara sauce. There's tomato and kind of a little faint garlic, I think, somewhere in there and like 4,000 miles away. This, it's like every single bite. The different cheeses. It's a quattro formaggio. Combined with the fresh ground meat. I mean, we really went all out with this. We might as well have just made our own cheese and became a dairy farmer. You know, in like Wisconsin. Anyway, this one's really good. Bikram, I think you should taste these two and tell me which one is your favorite. Yeah, instantly.
Easy. They're both good, by all means, but this is like, if you gave me 50 pounds of this, I would eat it all.
You wanna know what else has Papa's noodles being pushed out and cut off? Wow, that's visceral. B-roll.
All right. Well, I wish everyone well and blah, blah, blah and all that crap, but good night, everybody.